Welcome to Readmio. It's a brand new way of reading to children.
Louie's sour milk. Little Louie just returned from playing by the river. He spent a lovely summer's day there with his friends. Over the past few days, the sun had shone brightly and Louie frolicked from morning until evening. From time to time, he has to help his dad in the leather workshop, but not always, especially not when the weather is nice. Louie's dad knows very well that children feel best spending their summer days next to the water or in the woods. One afternoon, Louie ran back home all sweaty and extra thirsty. His half-full mug of milk, left over from breakfast, was still on the bench under the old cherry tree. The milk had come fresh from the cow his mum had milked the same morning. Louie hadn't had time to drink all of it before he went off to play at the start of the day. But now he grabbed it with gusto. Taking a big gulp, he scowled and instantly spat it out.
Ew, it tastes disgusting. How could milk go bad like this in just half a day?
Louie ran into the house and found his mother preparing dinner.
Hey, Mummy, I'm terribly thirsty. Could I have some water, please?
As soon as he had downed an entire jugful, he continued,
How is it possible that my milk from breakfast has gone bad already?
Louie's mum smiled and explained,
Well, milk goes sour in the heat. If we want it to stay fresh, we have to keep it at a lower temperature. That's why each day I take the jug of fresh milk to the cellar, where it's cool. Then it will still be good the next day.
A few days later, the weather turned chilly. The boys continued building their dam in the river. Regardless, the next day, Louie woke up with a cough and a fever. His mum made him some hot milk with honey.
Louie, drink this and snuggle up under the duvet. You'll feel better in a few days.
Louie drank barely half of it, put the mug down on the floor beside his bed, and fell into a feverish sleep. For 3 days his mother tiptoed around him. On the 4th day, Louie woke up feeling much better, and he jumped out of bed. As he was making his bed, he noticed his forgotten mug of milk. He remembered how last week the fresh milk had soured after being out in the warm air for some hours. How would this milk taste after 3 days? He wondered. Louie took a cautious sip. The milk tasted like milk with honey. He took another sip, this time a long one, and it was really good. How was it possible that after 3 days next to his bed, the milk still tasted as good as the milk they stored in the cool cellar? From that moment on, Louie kept thinking about milk. If Mummy says milk must be kept cold so it doesn't go sour, that means a low temperature is necessary in order for it to stay fresh. But can it also be the other way around?
What if boiling the milk when it's fresh actually makes it stay good for longer? Then one day, when Louie was helping his mum in the kitchen, he discreetly borrowed 2 empty mugs. Into one of them, he poured some milk that was fresh from the cow, and into the other, he poured boiled milk. He placed both mugs next to his bed, and after 3 days, it was time to do a taste test. While the boiled milk had no smell at all, there was a highly unpleasant odour coming from the mug of fresh milk. It was so stinky that Louie wished he didn't have to taste it. In spite of this, though, he followed through with his experiment and took a sip of both. And it was just as it had seemed. The boiled milk tasted good, and the fresh milk tasted really terrible. The test clearly proved that the milk which hadn't been boiled had completely spoiled in 3 days. He ran to his mother. "Mummy, I've discovered how to make fresh milk last longer. If you boil it first, you don't have to take it to the cellar to cool." At first, Louie's mum was reluctant to change her usual method, but when the weather became really hot and the temperature in the cellar rose, she tried out Louie's suggestion and boiled the fresh milk. Meanwhile, her friends, all from the same village, complained that their milk was not lasting more than 1 day. And so Louie's mum shared the information about the process her son had invented. Louie's sense of curiosity never stopped. He continued experimenting. Next, he wanted to see what would happen to apple cider when it is left in the sun for a few days, and how long the wine would last in the jug before it spoiled. When his father noticed how much his son enjoyed doing experiments, he decided not to urge Louie to learn the leather trade and follow in his footsteps. Instead, he sent him to school. Years later, when Louie was studying chemistry at university, he remembered his first experiments with milk. Now he had access to a whole laboratory filled with all sorts of bottles and test tubes. And this led him to discover that milk becomes spoiled due to something called fermentation, which is caused by small organisms invisible to the human eye. The heat is what wakes them up and gradually turns the naturally sweet milk into sour milk, and that it's the boiling process which kills these organisms, ensuring that the milk doesn't go sour. What is more, Louie discovered an especially important fact. Boiling destroys not only the bacteria that cause fermentation, but also the nasty bacteria that cause various diseases. He certainly was an abundantly curious person. Louie went on to discover plenty of other things after that, among them the principles of vaccination. Still today, 200 years after Louie was born, the method he invented for treating milk to protect it from microorganisms is known as pasteurization, after its inventor, Louis Pasteur.